All right, buddy, welcome back to WBD. Today's episode, working on my skid steer today. This thing is just having a little AC intermittent, which means it works sometimes and then sometimes it don't. So we're gonna check it out today. We're gonna have Wes from the Stanley Way come out here and look at it. To be continued. All right, guys, we're back. We got Wes here with this famous channel, the Stanley Way.
Not famous.
It is famous. To me, it's famous. I like it. He's got some cool ways of doing mechanical work, and so I brought him in here to see what he can fix my intermittent problem, as I mentioned. I'm on Cat 259D. So
the way I do things is the Stanley Way. That's why the channel is called Stanley Way. Not made necessarily the right way, but the Stanley Way. So we're going to check out his air conditioning and his awesome 259D. See if we can fix it.
All right, let's get started.
Okay. I bought them a long time ago, so I don't really know how much they cost. But it wasn't very expensive. Got a good set of gauges. I bought this scale separate so we can tell how much refrigerant goes in it. Got a vacuum pump. Pull the vacuum onto it. Got some oil for the pump.
Should be about all you need.
Should be. I don't know, we'll see.
Sounds good.
All right, so.
Yeah, all we do is take that pan off. That's all we've done so far. So here we are. And the ports are right here. Right somewhere. Right there and right there. Alrighty. Alright, guys, we're gonna crank it. Boo, boo, boo. Turn the AC on, of course. Turn the AC on, of course.
Yeah.
Like full blast?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's see what the gauges say. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, guys. This looks good for right here, so we're going to shut it off. And we'll get back into it in a second.
So we checked the pressure with the machine running and the air conditioning going, and everything worked fine. Pressure was good on both sides. You got to check it in accordance with the ambient temperature that you have. Low pressure, high pressure. The problem is you can't always go off of pressure. That just means that this compressor is working good. The system can still be under service or over service. Now he said he has an intermittent problem, which means it comes on, it turns off. He doesn't really see or understand why it's turning off and on. A lot of times you could have a system that's over pressurized, and as it gets warmer outside, the pressure is going to go up inside the system on the high side. He hits the high pressure switch limit, and then it turns everything off so it doesn't over pressurize and break the compressor or something else within the system. So now what we're going to do is we're going to recover all the Freon that's in there, and then we're going to reservice it with exactly 0.81 kilograms, which is what Caterpillar says to put in it, of 134A. So that way we know we have the right amount of refrigerant. We're going to check it again, make sure the pressures are right, and then he's going to operate it, and hopefully it works. Maybe it's just over serviced. I don't know, we'll see.
We'll see.
From that point, if something else is wrong with it, then I'll come back and we'll figure out what else is wrong. Recovered. Now we're going to pull the vacuum on it, make sure all contaminants and moisture is out of the system. That's one of the things you want to do is when you lower the pressure like that, which that's going to be these two gauges below zero, it's going to make the moisture evaporate. It's going to pull everything out, make sure that when we go back and we put Freon back in it, there's going to be nothing but Freon. It's going to be the right amount, the right type, no other contaminants, and then that'll give us a good baseline to go off of and troubleshoot the system.
Sounds good. Love it. All right, let's get a close-up, guys, to show you what he's talking about. So right there, still kind of hard to see. So if it would start to leak, when you live in this condition, the gauge would start going up like that. And then that tells you you got some leak somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, so it's been on there for 45 minutes, Wes said, so we're gonna pull that off and service it. Let's watch that.
valves and it stays on, or it stays at a vacuum.
Oh yeah, it's definitely below zero.
Yep. All right. So
cool.
So we want to make sure that we put the right amount of Freon in it. I looked it up, and on the Caterpillar website, it tells you to put 0.81 kilograms of 134A into the system. What in the world is 0.81 kilograms? Well, I figured it out. 28.57191 ounces. What in the world is that? I don't know. On my gauge, I've got pounds and ounces, so I did a little figuring. We're going to do 1 pound, 12 ounces, 0.5719. I should have said 1 pound, 12.57191 ounces. Boy, how are you going to do 12.57191? We're not. That was a joke. We're going to do 1 pound, 12.5 ounces. Sound good? Sound like it's going to be close enough. The biggest thing you want to do is make sure you put the right amount back in it. You got a good baseline to start from. There's no leaks. We now know there's no contaminants in the system. You're going to put nothing but Freon, no additives, no leak stop, nothing like that. Just pure, what they call virgin 134A back into the system. All right, so before we start, we know we have air in this line when we connected the bottle up to it. So I've got the bottle turned on. We want to purge this line right here just a little bit, make sure Freon comes out, purge all air. We don't want any air to get into the system. Just a little shot. I can smell it. I know the Freon is now all the way through the hose to the top.
Now we're ready.
All right. Ready?
Turn the AC on?
Yep.
All the way?
After you turn on the air conditioner, turn on the low side.
See that, huh? It's going in.
Well, it's clear.
You can't see it.
I know it.
Maybe you can see it, you just can't see it out here, you know?
Yeah, probably.
I can see it, maybe.
All right, so now we're going to watch the scale. When it gets down to exactly 26 pounds, we know that we have the amount of Freon in there that we need. Everything's looking good. Got pressure coming in the low side. Compressor is not turned on yet. It's got to get up to a certain amount of pressure. It is actually a safety feature that compressors have, that the system has to protect the compressor. When it gets up to a certain amount, then it'll come on, it'll draw even more Freon out of the bottle.
At what point do you think it's going to turn on, just as a guess? 26, 5?
I'd say 26.9.
26.9?
It's fixing to turn on. Probably not.
I always like to have a guess. Like, hey, Bush, yeah. See what you think that is right there. Take a guess.
Compressor came on, we just didn't hear it.
Well, probably did about the same time that noise kicked in.
Yeah. Comes on again.
Yeah, you can hear it now because the engine, you can hear it drop.
We get ready.
Bam!
Right there at it.
And then it says 1. Probably got 1 in the line.
Yeah. You know what? We'll make sure.
Bam! You can put these caps on, huh?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that if you want to.
Look at how dirty that thing is. See how dirty it is? Oh yeah. Knock out the dirt. You like? One of them gets real dirty. I guess that's the bottom one. Real dirty. It does tighten up. That's good. All right, very good. Got that back on. Boom. Alright guys, we got this thing all put back together as you can see. Mr. West from Stanley Way was out here today. We appreciate him coming out here and helping us. And we, like I said, we got a good baseline established right now. Everything's working. We know it's got the right amount of Freon in it. And so if it does happen to come back with some issues, we know that there's some things that we don't have to worry about anymore because, you know, we already checked them out today by doing this. So Wes, we thank you for coming to our channel today and helping us out. And you guys, now you know about the Stanley Way with Wes here. The Stanley Way
channel.
That's right. You can go to his channel, subscribe, and look at some of the stuff he does. He built his own little movie theater in his own house, which is an awesome big project. And
not as big as a cottage, but big project.
But it's still awesome. I mean, anytime you do something, if you guys never done it before, or you're doing it yourself, and every time you start something, it's like, what the crap am I doing? Why'd I do this?
Scary.
Yep. And then you get going and get into it and you get done, then it's like, wow, this is awesome. I love it. You just can't
feel like you don't know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Well, you're in good company because I never feel like I know what I'm doing.
Yep. So we appreciate you today, Wes, coming out and checking things out.
No problem, buddy.
All right.
Good to see you. Y'all subscribe to his channel. Of course, if you're looking at this, you're probably already subscribed. I don't know. And subscribe to his channel because he's got some good stuff on there, real good. Some interesting ways, like I said, about fixing your car and different things. And so if you, you know, you might be a mechanic for 20, 30 years or whatever. You know, I guarantee you he'll show you something that you haven't thought about because that's how it was when I started looking at it. I was like, wow, this is awesome. So, all right, well, you guys have a good one. Until the next one, thanks for watching. Bye. See ya.